car, and I watched that youngin' grow up. He's a good kid. Good kid.
Just a little mud on the tires.
That's all. That's all.
The left front wheel's a little bit more orange than the other three black ones were.
There's more mud than that in Ashford, Alabama, I promise you. So.
Yes, sir. We're going to try it again. I like Randy Renfro's car. Look how sharp that color is.
Yeah, Randy's always had a nice color scheme on his cars.
Back underway. You know, Michael, it's kind of interesting. The hobby stock cars, especially Randy Renfro's body, looks like what the old late model bodies looked like back in the early, the late 80s and early 90s. Yes.
Yeah, Randy Renfro is your leader.
You look at Renfro's car, and it looks like an old Have a Tampa Dirt late model body.
Look at Hobo Bosley and the 15 car. Hobo.
Or NDRA.
Don Cook, Dustin Hughes trying to get around Jonathan Morris.
Eight laps of distance. Randy Renfro out in front.
Robert Clark on that 31C. Usually Chris Story, the Diggler, driving that car sometimes.
Here comes Cracker, climbing the ladder.
Don Cook, Jonathan Morris, Dustin Hughes. Must be having some handling problems on that X2 out of Ashford.
Me and Michael can only call Don Cook Cracker and get away with it. Because,
that's right.
But there's a reason why.
There's a reason.
There's an awesome reason why.
And he didn't bring none this time.
He didn't bring no Don Crackers.
All
well.
right, Randy Renfro, your leader down the back straightaway. Hobo Bosley in the 15. Don Cook in the 21 car. Dustin Hughes trying to get around that 57 of Jonathan Morris at Opelika. Dustin Hughes way up high that time coming out of 3. And
31 heavy smoke bellowing from the back end of that car of Robert Clark.
Yeah, Robert Clark bought that car from Chris Story and the 31C. Chris Story, the Diggler, used to own that car. Dustin Hughes taking it to the high side, coming down to the middle of the groove in the 3 and the 4. Randy Renfro is your leader. There's one white flag coming out this time by. White flag coming out this time by for leader Randy Renfro. Hobo Bosley, Don Cook, Dustin Hughes trying to get around that 31C. Robert Clark makes the pass, moves in that 4th spot. See if he can hang on to it. Finish 4th.
White flags in the air, but here they come for checker.
Checker flag. Randy Renfro, your winner of heat number 2. Hobo Bosley, Don Cook. Let's see if Dustin Hughes can get back around the 31C of Robert Clark. Take the 4th spot. And Robert Clark hangs on to it. Dustin Hughes and Lucas Morris. Jonathan Morris, excuse me, out of Opelika, Alabama.
I tell you what, all you race fans, officials, crew members, if you're standing up on that wall in turns 1 and 2 on the front straightaway, on the front stretch going into turn 1 where the four-wheelers are, I'd recommend you probably back up about a good 8 to 10 feet. Standing on that wall is not safe either, Michael, if you see what they're doing down there in turn 1.
Well, I'm going to ask them one time and one time only, please step off the wall. If you want to stand behind the wall, that's your privilege. But I ask you to recommend you to stand 10 or 12 feet back off the wall. But if you do not want to do that, that's your prerogative. All I can do is ask you to do that. And I would greatly appreciate it because I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I've seen it in the state race. I've seen it in the national race last year. Cars almost come over that wall, and that wall is not that high, folks. So it wouldn't take but a good hit and somebody be a car over that wall.
You know, Michael, I remember the first night, what was it, the state race, we were working together right there in turns number 4 where people were standing on four-wheelers and golf carts and right up against the fence or right against the retaining wall, and we asked them to move, and not even 30 seconds later, they came for a green flag restart and got tangled up over there, and thank God nobody got hurt, but it happened right where they were standing at.
Yeah, so that's all we can do is ask. So,
hey, that's going to do it for the Hobby Heat Races. Hobby Heat Races are in the books. We're going to get ready here in just a few moments for the Hot Shots. It is the Jonathan Merritt Mr. NASCAR Hot Shot Tribute Race this weekend for the 44th running of the National 100 weekend. So we will have those heat races coming up in just a moment, Michael Patton. And again, a special event in honor of somebody that, the defending winner of the National 100 from back in 2017. You were down there in Victory Lane with him. It was such an emotional interview.
I was crying. He was crying.
Yeah.
His daddy was crying. We was just all crying. So, but Jonathan was a good kid. His memory will live on a long time. And Billy Tidwell, good friend of the family's, is doing the driving duties on Jonathan's car. It is Jonathan's car that he raced.
That's right.
At the Ice Bowl. And he
literally had just came back from running the Ice Bowl at Talladega.
And Billy Tidwell is going to do the driving duties on that car. And that is a car. If you see that purple car right there on the inside, right there with the guy that's got the orange toboggan on it, that is Jamie Swint. She is our junior hot shots driver. They just finished that car, and it's got a 5 on the car you see in memory of Jonathan. And a lot of these guys around here are pulled together for Jonathan. A lot of them are, like I said, if you see Terry and the family, just hug their necks, tell them thank you, you love them, you're praying for them. I just couldn't imagine losing a child. It's hard enough dealing with what I deal with each and every day in the business I'm in. So, but just pray for them and just lift them up in your prayers. And like I said, tomorrow, when you come tomorrow, I would love to see these stands full tomorrow. I would. For all the racing action we're going to have here tomorrow, we're going to do some of you people who wasn't here before, we're going to do a 5 wide salute. I know you've seen cars do 4 wide. We're going to do these hot shots right here, 5 wide. And matter of fact, we're going to put Billy Tidwell in Jonathan's car. I possibly might let it make a couple laps by itself in honor of Jonathan, and I probably will. And then we'll get the 5 wide salute. On the 5th lap of the feature race tomorrow, I'm going to ask everyone to please stand. And I hope everybody cooperates, and please stand and hold up your 5 fingers in your hand. And we're going to do that in honor of Jonathan tomorrow. So I'm sorry, folks, if we're getting broke up. It's just emotional. Jonathan's a good kid. I thought a lot of him. And we're going to have a good time tomorrow. And these hot shots are going to put on a heck of a show right here for you. In Heat 1, and I'll give you the lineup on the inside of row 1. It's going to be the 5 of Jody Jeffrey. Kyle Smith in the 13 car. Row 2 is going to be the 14D of Patrick Dees. 7 car of Bobby DeWell. 3 car through row 3 is going to be the 96 car Scott Marshall. 97 car Josh Allen. Row 4 is going to be the 5C Stormy Coward, and the 24 Superman Jason Newsom. All right, Will's going to look him over. We're going to give him the green flag. Heat 2, Heat 3, and Heat 4 is coming up next. Then we'll have a street stock heat race. And then we'll have the junior heat hot shots heat race. And then we will finish off the afternoon with practice session for the 602, 604, and the super late models for the Ray mains. So that 14 car right there, the 14D, that's Patrick Dees hanging his hand out in the window right there. Scott Marshall. I give him a hard time, Wesley, about that 96 car. It's pink. And Scott Marshall, have you ever seen that boy? He's a big old boy. And he's pink car. And Scott Marshall does that in support of breast cancer awareness. And Scott's a good fellow. And we got a good bunch of guys out here in this thing. Batman's even here today, Larry Moss. So we got a lot of this. This is a tight-knit family right here, this Hot Shots division. So we're getting ready for Hot Shots. Feature race, heat race in action, Heat 1 coming to you. We got Heat 2 coming up, Heat 3, Heat 4. And got a lot of good racing action, a lot of heavy hitters in this hot shot division. And they could come home tomorrow with the National 100 win in honor of their friend Jonathan, Mr. NASCAR Merritt, that won this race last year. So that 88 car, that's John Deere Green right there. It's usually driven by Trenton Griffin, and I don't see his name on the list, but undoubtedly he must be in this lineup for this first heat race. So we're getting ready. Concession stands are still open. Good hot food, cold drinks concession area. The hut's still open. Still got some homemade glazed and homemade chocolate donuts. If you have not been down to the souvenir stand, check out the National 100 souvenir T-shirts or hoodies or anything, or even the koozies. Make your way down there. Go check them out. Some good-looking merchandise down there in the souvenir stand. And it's right beside the Nacho Hut. Got the Nitro Nachos. 2 fully loaded layers of nachos, chili and cheese. Jalapenos topped off with salsa and sour cream. So go check them out and get you a T-shirt before you leave tonight or before you leave the weekend. Make sure you get one. All right, we're going green flag racing. Hot Shots, heat number 1, coming to you here at East Alabama Motor Speedway, a.k.a. the playground of power.
Heat race 1 of 4. Green is in the air. They're underway. Kyle Smith on the jump. 3 wide behind him. Leading Noah to the arc, door to door as they go into turn 2. Side by side, and here comes Kyle Smith getting the breakaway, Michael, as he dives for the lead in 3. Now a 3-car battle for the lead in 3.
Stormy Cowart in that 5C had shot all the way from the rear of the field to the front. He's been a hard hitter all year long in this division. Stormy Cowart in the 5. Look to the inside. Here he comes, the 13 of Kyle Smith. Looks like the 21 car. That looks like it's Mac Watson. That's usually who's doing the driving duties. We do not have a driver number on that car, but I believe it is Mac Watson, and I will check that information for you real quick. I sure will. It's not listening, but I believe that is Mac Watson. So here it comes. Stormy Cowart in the 5C is your leader.
Contact, front straightaway. 96 and 88 about get together. Scott Marshall, I think that's Thomas Owens, Michael Patton. And they're heat racing out of order because they're supposed to be in heat race number 2. And they go to the back straightaway now into turn 3. The leaders exit off the corner. It is Stormy Cowart out in front. Scott Marshall in second spot.
And that's Mike Watson in that 21 car.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we also have toboggans down there.
Whoa, 1 car off the racetrack. Look out. Coming back on track.
Scott Marshall, 96 car.
You got the Rolex 24 at Daytona. He decided to turn his car race into a road course event just for a moment, Michael.
Yes.
Gathers back on the speedway.
Scott Marshall in the 96 car. Like I said, that car, he painted it pink last year for support of breast cancer awareness.
I love it.
So, Scott Marshall's a good guy, good family man, and has done a lot of stuff for the sport. We're here and around this area here in Phoenix City, Alabama. All right, we do have toboggans for sale also at the East Alabama Motor Speedway souvenir stand. So check it out. Stormy Cowart coming to the white flag this time by Stormy Cowart. Mac Watson in that 21 car. And the 13, Kyle Smith. Trent Griffin looks like in the 88 car. Patrick Dees in the 14. At 5 car, Jody Jeffries, Scott Marshall, Jason Newsom with his hand out the window. You do not see Jason Newsom usually that far back in the pack.
No, that's very ironic.
Stormy Cowart right there, your winner of Heat 1, followed by Mac Watson, Patrick Dees. Kyle Smith, Jody Jeffrey. And the 5 right behind Patrick Dees and Trent Griffin in the 88 car, Scott Marshall. And Jason Newsom. Jason Newsom's usually one of your heavy hitters, and that's a brand-new car, so he's got to get the kinks worked out and everything else.
So, Stormy Cowart will take heat race number 1. How about the 5C?
Yeah, Stormy Cowart.
Started in the last row, too, Michael.
Yeah, Stormy Cowart is a one heck of a driver. His brother, Hunter, won the Junior Hot Shots championship this year. He was always, Stormy's brother was always rolling pretty good. And matter of fact, I think he's in this Junior Hot Shots category. He is, Charlie Cowart. Charlie, I'm sorry. Mr. Michael knows better than that. You told me a lot of times. Charlie Cowart, Wesley, was about this tall. About that tall. And won the Junior Hot Shots championship.
Awesome.
Charlie Cowar's a good kid, too. And So